Hello and welcome back everyone to another podcast episode on how white feminism language betrays women of color. So today's episode is gonna be super quick, super short, and basically I'm going to explain my conclusion, explain my thoughts, explain everything that pretty much wraps up everything up. So in the past few episodes, we can see on the first one and the second one clear examples on white feminism language betrayal and physical examples, as well as body language, the words that they use. And in the other episodes, I quote several words that called out to me, and I explain how this betrays women of color, how this affects them, and how this makes them feel. I as well give my own personal experience with white feminism betrayal and how it made me feel, and how at a very young age I was aware. But the only reason I was aware is because I was different. I was from Mexico, and when I moved to United States, I was exposed to this white feminism betrayal. So this pretty much says about what I'm going to talk about. To make it short and quick, I made some interviews to my friends who have been here in the United States since they were born, or as long as they could remember. And one friend of mine, she has always lived here in the Valley. Another friend of mine, she moved to a different city. I believe she moved to San Antonio for college. And for the first one, we're gonna call her friend X, and the second one friend Y. So my friend X, she has always been lived here, and my main research about all of this is how young women are not informed about this type of topics, or have never ever experienced this, and I do not blame them. We live in a very small town, but this still exists. It happened to me at a very young age. Maybe it happened to them but didn't realize it. Why? Because they didn't have the knowledge. So this is what I'm trying to get to with all this. So my first question towards her was if she was a feminist. And no, she did not consider herself a feminist. My second question to her was if she believed that in 2021 all women had equal rights in all areas and in all terms. She said yes, that she does believe that. My third question was if she believed or have ever experienced or seen betrayal amongst women within feminism. She said no, because she was never exposed to this, and due to she was never exposed to this, that's why she never believed or consider herself a feminist. Obviously, I wasn't gonna start a debate on it. I was mainly just asking her questions. I didn't want to make her feel uncomfortable, mainly for my research. And she was intrigued. Her response towards my questions, she started thinking about it, and she told me, you know what, since I don't know a lot about this, I'm gonna do my own research. And here's where I prove my point. Not all girls, but some of us, we're 19. Imagine younger girls. If we don't know about it, how can any other young girl know about it unless she has been exposed? I want y'all, if you're hearing this podcast, to be aware of these situations, to tell your little sister, your little cousin, your daughter, that these things happened, and that it still happens. Just because it's not in the 50s and the 60s does not mean it vanished. Racism, feminist betrayal, all of these kinds still exist and can happen to anyone. And I'm not saying be aware because it's going to happen to you. No, be aware so that whenever you're in public and you see another girl going through it, you recognize it and you're able to provide help. And as for my friend Y, she responded that she is a feminist. She responded that she does not believe there is equality for women still. And she was an athlete in high school, so she was very well informed about the pay for women in the basketball teams, professional basketball teams, was billions of dollars less than men, and they pretty much play the same. They all have the same equipment, and women until this day are still getting paid less. And let's not even get into the medical field, how they are still paid less. That's a different topic. But for the last main important question, I asked her if she believed that there was betrayal amongst feminists, mainly white feminism towards women of color. She said yes, because she was exposed to it in college, and mainly, I believe, with friends gathering. She said she was very neglected by white young girls. And I asked her, just because they're white, do you consider them to be feminist? And because now let's be honest, not all girls are feminist. So I didn't want to call out oh, because she was white, she was a white feminist, and it fell under that category. No. So I kept on asking her how do you know? Basically, it was a gathering from work, and she had heard these girls talk about how the inequality. Okay, so she basically explained yeah, she had a few insight on what their beliefs were, but they neglected her because of her skin color. And she also told me that as a young girl, she did not care. She didn't see this as a very important until she was exposed to it. And we're talking about she was 20, 21. She's older than us. So back again to my point. It is not that it's sad, but it is very, very late in a way for us women find out, especially us that live here in small towns that are from the border or that live here in the RGB, to find out about these experiences, or that we have to travel up north to bigger cities to be exposed to this type of betrayal amongst each other. With that being said, guys, please help your sister. Let her know about this topic. Your friend, your daughter, your cousin, whoever it is. We all have a woman in our lives who we love and want to protect. Remember, white feminism is not the enemy. White women are not the enemy. Not all white women are like this. And this topic, I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to spread it out there because it's still happening, and it can happen to any of us, and we must stay united. Feminism, this is what feminism is about. You need unity of women, unity to equal rights. And if we're not united, this is not gonna accomplish all of our dreams and goals. Thank you all so much for listening. I hope you like this podcast. Goodbye.